now been 5 years since Stephanie Scott of SSCO Event Management conceptualized Kingston Restaurant Week, which promoted eating out as a new in thing to do for Kingstonians. With the vast success of Kingston Restaurant Week, it has now expanded to include locations in Ocho Rios and Montego Bay and has now been rebranded as Restaurant Week.
Okay, I'm sure you've been asked this question. So, what inspired you to create Restaurant?
Okay, Francine, to be honest, very honest, and I've said this before, so I'm consistent. The inspiration was not mine. The accolades go to my daughter-in-law, who one Sunday morning called me and said, at that time she was not my daughter-in-law, but she called me and she said, I have a brilliant idea. She lived in New York, where of course there is a very vibrant restaurant week, and she called me and said to me, why don't you do this? Why don't you apply it to Jamaica? And some things in the back of my head said, yes, it sounds like a very good idea. And that was the genesis of Restaurant Week. So I really do have to, as I say, I didn't invent the wheel. There are restaurant weeks all around the world, Berlin, Toronto, New York. All I did was take the idea and apply it to Jamaica.
Okay, so how many years have...
This is our 5th year.
Okay.
Believe it or not, time certainly flies. This is our 5th year.
Okay, so I know when it started out it was Kingston Restaurant Week. Now this year it is Restaurant Week.
That's right. Can you say Restaurant Week? that's my personal tagline, because the habits die. It's very hard for the habit to die, and I constantly say Kingston Restaurant Week still. Okay. The reason for the rebranding is that we're very proud of the expansion. We have this year included restaurants in both Montego Bay and Ocho Rios. So hence the reason we had to drop the Kingston and make it be a restaurant, just a Restaurant Week.
Okay, okay. What will the customers in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, what can they expect? Will it be a similar format as it is in Kingston for them?
Exactly the same, exactly the same. It's a tried and true format or formula that is actually not unique to us, it's unique to Restaurant Weeks. The whole concept is that you discount heavily, and you put together this massive advertising campaign which drives the volume for the restaurant. We're doing exactly the same thing. Apart from the huge campaign that for the event, we're also going to do specific local promotions in both those cities to get the people excited in both of those cities. And so the formula, they will fall into the same categories that we do in Kingston. So that means people then from Kingston or Moby or Ochi can come around. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Okay. I actually was quite heartened. I never realized, because I never was aware before of how many people did come in from Ocho Rios and Montego Bay. It wasn't until this year when I decided to go there that people began to talk to me and say, oh, I'm so happy about this, because we used to drive into, I was like, wow, that's fabulous. So we just want to get the excitement going there as well. Okay,
I know there's a club component to Kingston Restaurant. What does that entail?
Okay, what that entails in Kingston is that every diner who dines at a participating restaurant in Restaurant Week, upon presentation of a stamped receipt from that restaurant at any of our participating clubs, is eligible for a free Restaurant Week cocktail. Now, I have to say, admittedly, this year we've decided not to begin with a club component in Ochi and in Mobe, because I'm a firm believer in kind of taking baby steps before you fly. So we're working just with the restaurants there. But the club element in Kingston, I've decided that's my baby this year, because for so long we've taken a couple of years to really solidify that eating out is in, the entertainment value of eating out, the camaraderie, all of that. So now more than ever, I really want to emphasize that the night doesn't end when you finish eating. It's about and after. Okay. And so the night goes on. So this year we're proud to have 2 new clubs on board. One is Fiction up at Marketplace and the other is the Village Blues Bar by the Orchid Patch Plaza, and I'm very excited about those. So yes, everybody this year, public out there, after eating, I expect you to take your stamp receipt and continue the evening at one of the participating clubs.
Okay, tell us about the categories.
Categories remain the same. Epicurean category, which is 3,500. What we did is, in the name of the recession and in the name of everything else, we tried as best as we could to really keep everything just the way it was last year, which actually means that it's tremendous value for money. So we have our Epicurean category, which is 3,500. We have our Delectable category, which is 3,000. We have our Savory category, which is 1,600, and then we have our Tasties, which are 1,350. So any diner for that price can go to any restaurant in that category, and they get the choice of one appetizer, one main course, one dessert, and of course they start the evening with a complimentary drink from our fantastic spirit and non-spirit sponsors this year, which are Tradewind Citrus, aka True Juice, and then they end up the evening with a fabulous cup of coffee courtesy of Cafe Blue. So it's really, and remember, after that they can take their stamp receipt and check down the road to the club where they get another free cocktail. Okay. So you know, it really is a good deal.
So the customers this year will definitely be getting a lot.
I think so, and we're very excited about our spirit. We're very grateful, and we're very excited about all our sponsors. Those ones that are returning, we're very excited about. But the new sponsor for the spirit and the non-spirit is Tradewind Citrus, which is aka True Juice as we know it, and they are going to be using the initiative, the event, to really debut, so to speak, their rum punch, which is called Calico Jack, as well as rum bar and their True Juice juices and their True Tea. But I was particularly interested when they approached me, because what is more synonymous with Jamaica than rum punch, you know? And so I was excited about being able to be part of something that can really promote something. But we, you know, I don't want to stop without mentioning my other sponsors, because the new guys on board, you know, are fabulous, but the old guys, without their continued support, and that is RBTT Bank is back with us, Stewart's Automotive Group is back with us, and Norge Seafood, the whole saltfish awakening that we had last year, they're back with us, and then also Jamaica Trade and Invest, our new sponsor on board. Okay. So we're very pleased with that spread, so to speak.
Okay. You mentioned about the recession and keeping prices down. Do you anticipate, you know, any impact from that on the week?
Actually,
people have time enough to see?
No, I think it's actually going to be the reverse, because I think that it's going to be a particularly bumper year, because the thing is that a discounted event, an event with a discounted nature, is exactly what we're all in need of now. In other words, with shrinking disposable income, it's harder to go out to dinner, but if you can go out to dinner for 30% off, you are going to. So I personally feel that it's going to be a year when people are going to go out more than ever, and I think they've been kind of saving up for it, you know, so that they will. So.
Okay, all right. Why should people attend Restaurant Week this year? Just give us in a short.
You know, I've always said that, you know, overwhelmingly the reason for it is just to have a good time. You know, life is so stressful now. Life is so serious. Like, we're all intense. We're all driven. We're all conscious of all of it. It's just a week when you sort of forget about the violence, forget about what you should do, and just enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy the spirit of, you know, communally being with people, enjoy going out, you know. But I also I like the socio sort of philanthropic kind of element to it, because there's a great trickle down. The restaurants do well, the waiters do well, they get tips. It has a civic kind of element to it. You know, it promotes Kingston. We have international journalists that come in. I just heard we're going to be featured in Travel and Leisure next month about where you must go, and so it's a nice mix, and it's just a week to let your hair down, go out with your parents, your children, your friends, your whatever, and just take part in, you know, we have an incredible cuisine. We have an eclectic cuisine. We have a cuisine like our people that is just so interesting. And it's sometimes difficult to sample that, because prices are high. But in a week like this, when it's 30% off, that's the time to dig in and enjoy, you know.
Okay.
So
how many restaurants do you have on board?
I think I was kind of toting up last night. It was like D-Day. I think there was going to be 45 in total.
Okay,
between Kingston and Moe. We lost a couple in Kingston for various reasons. Some closed and some couldn't manage it this year. But we gained, we're going to have 9 in Montego Bay and 7 in Ocho Rios, which I think is really good for the first year. Okay. And so, yeah, in total I think it's 45.
Okay.